Behaviorism theory, or behaviorist theory, is given B.F. Skinner and others important psychologists. Here is a brief introduction about behaviorism theory. Behaviorism, or the behavioral learning theory, is a popular concept that focuses on how students learn. Behaviorism focuses on the idea that all behaviors are learned through interaction with the environment. This learning theory states that behaviors are learned from the environment, and says that innate or inherited factors have very little influence on behavior. A common example of behaviorism is positive reinforcement. A student gets a small treat if they get 100% on their spelling test. In the future, students work hard and study for their test in order to get the reward. Behaviorism is key for educators because it impacts how students react and behave in the classroom, and suggests that teachers can directly influence how their students behave. It also helps teachers understand that a student's home environment and lifestyle can be impacting their behavior, helping them see it objectively and work to assist with improvement. History of behaviorism. Behaviorism started as a reaction against introspective psychology in the 19th century, which relied heavily on first-person accounts. J.B. Watson and B.F. Skinner rejected introspective methods as being subjective and unquantifiable. These psychologists wanted to focus on observable, quantifiable events and behaviors. They said that science should take into account only observable indicators. They helped bring psychology into higher relevance by showing that it could be accurately measured and understood, and it wasn't just based off opinions. Watson and Skinner believed that if they were given a group of infants, the way they were raised and the environment they put them in would be the ultimate determining factor for how they acted, not their parents or their genetics. Pavlov's dogs is a popular behaviorism experiment. A group of dogs would hear a bell ring and then they would be given food. After enough time, when the bell would ring, the dogs would salivate, expecting the food before they even saw it. This is exactly what behaviorism argues, that the things we experience and our environment are the drivers of how we act. The stimulus-response sequence is a key element of understanding behaviorism. A stimulus is given, for example a bell rings, and the response is what happens next. A dog salivates or a pellet of food is given. Behavioral learning theory argues that even complex actions can be broken down into the stimulus response. Behaviorism learning theory. In the classroom, the behavioral learning theory is key in understanding how to motivate and help students. Information is transferred from teachers to learners from a response to the right stimulus. Students are a passive participant in behavioral learning. Teachers are giving them the information as an element of stimulus response. Teachers use behaviorism to show students how they should react and respond to certain stimuli. This needs to be done in a repetitive way, to regularly remind students what behavior a teacher is looking for. Positive reinforcement is key in the behavioral learning theory. Without positive reinforcement, students will quickly abandon their responses because they don't appear to be working. For example, if students are supposed to get a sticker every time they get an A on a test, and then teachers stop giving that positive reinforcement, less students may get A's on their tests, because the behavior isn't connected to a reward for them. Repetition and positive reinforcement go hand in hand with the behavioral learning theory. Teachers often work to strike the right balance of repeating the situation and having the positive reinforcement come to show students why they should continue that behavior. Motivation plays an important role in behavioral learning. Positive and negative reinforcement can be motivators for students. For example, a student may receive praise for getting a good grade on a test. This is positive reinforcement. Negative reinforcement is still motivation to get the student to act in a desired way, but removes an element in order to get the student to do something. For example, a student may not have to do homework if they score well on a test. Both of these motivators are valuable for improved behavior inside the classroom.